like to say that Roger Goodell was the devil. That's a little bit of clickbait for you. But at the same time, the devil is getting paid. The devil, Roger Goodell, has stepped up.
He's not getting paid yet.
I like to say he's the devil. These guys, I don't know. But anyway, have you seen his request for his new
It's pretty extravagant.
contract?
It's pretty extravagant.
As they say, it's off the chain. He's getting paid, what, $50 million a year is what he wants?
That's what he wants. But he's already getting 44 to
Oh.
46.
Did anybody notice that actually the reports for his contract, the reports actually came out of Dallas? Did anybody
So
notice
little
that?
Jerry Jones in there?
So little Jerry Jones kind of fed into some of the. I don't think all the requests that he made were made by him. I think some of it was just pump fed into
Speculation.
Yes. If these reports are 100% true, I honestly think he's just winging it and hoping. And if it doesn't work out, screw it, fire me because I'm over this crap.
This is why I think that's true. Because
Good.
he hasn't come out and denied it.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
So, if you're getting, he wants $49.5 million a year.
The-
He wants a private jet.
Why not go for 50?
The jet and the healthcare are the kickers.
Why he's just trying to be nice. So,
1967, NFL came through with their.
fart.
I did say fart. came through with their contract. They made the NFL a charity type contract. With that in the contract, NFL commissioner, no taxes. So preachers, charity, Roger Goodell.
I did not know.
How
that.
is this legal?
It's
I
a
don't
business.
know.
Anything is legal. I mean, it is what it is.
Ever
They're
set
all-
up the NFL?
You want to pay the commissioner under the table?
Goodell
What
works for
happens?
the owners though. If the owners want to pay him $50 million a year, then they're going to pay him $50 million a year.
And the $50 million a year is not the big thing.
But
honestly,
I
it is
like
what it is.
50 million tax free?
I like what some of the players said though. They said you're going to give this guy $50 million a year, a private jet,
The private jet
and
Health.
lifetime health insurance.
for him and his family.
But he's not playing the game. These players deserve lifetime,
Lifetime
health
health.
insurance
I agree with
other
that.
than Roger Goodell.
And that'll feed into what we talked about our last segment as far as the concussion stuff goes. I mean, why shouldn't they?
But I mean,
if you retire from a company, there are some companies that still provide benefits after you're gone.
Right.
I mean, those things should. I think.
How
it should
long
exist.
before the government steps in? Because right now, the owners and Roger Goodell, they own Park Place and Boardwalk.
No.
They can do whatever they want.
Oh,
No.
The baseball and basketball,
I haven't heard anything about.
they
Goodell
get
and
guaranteed
Trump being
contracts.
at each other yet.
Who?
Goodell and Trump. I haven't
Oh.
heard nothing about them being.
Yeah,
at
they're
each other.
probably in cahoots. They're probably fine. They're buddies. They probably agree in the back end with each other.
Maybe Trump came up with his.
I just really
requests.
think I really think Jerry Jones is being, I don't want to say petty, but
Spiteful.
he's being spiteful. Yeah, he's being
What
spiteful.
about the
because
fact
of
that
the whole Ezekiel Elliott
there's
thing.
actually owners out there that are they haven't gone through with it yet, but they've showed like a sign of, hey Jerry, you keep this kind of crap up, we can get rid of you.
And you know what's funny about this whole thing
Not that they're going to,
is
but-
Roger Goodell can find Jerry
Right,
Jones
for talking
for
smack.
talking about him. That's the funny part about it.
It's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think Goodell is like, you know what? Everybody wants me out. I'm gonna go for this.
Yeah.
If I don't get it, oh well. If I get it, great.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? The people who cut his check do not want him out.
No, I'm talking about players.
Brandon's
I'm talking about
Brandon's
players and
I
outside.
get, they're nobody as far as
Right.
the way they look at it
Exactly.
because
You're looking at 5 owners that don't want him, and the other
25
27 want him.
they're
Right.
because the profits have gone through the roof.
Oh, through the roof.
It's almost doubled since it's
Everyone's
been.
upon
Every
million.
great story, I hate Roger Goodell, but every great story needs that bad guy, that Darth Vader, that
Yeah,
Joker,
yeah.
you know, that
And when you're running a company that is making as much money as you are making,
You're gonna have people.
you have to be. You can't please everybody. Period. No matter how you want to look at it, you cannot please everybody. And we talked about it last segment. I came off and said I don't think he's doing an excellent job, but I don't think he's doing a terrible job. I do think that he's made bad decisions, and it's also his bad decisions are leading to more bad decisions. I do think the Ezekiel Elliott suspension is a bad move per
I'm glad that
se.
shit's over.
but we're still gonna talk about it for a while. I mean, maybe not us, but we're still gonna hear about it for a
Yeah.
while. You know.
I just-
mean,
Is there a
I
chance?
wouldn't-
Is there a chance that Elliot's suspension gets dropped like the other suspension?
hell no, not at this point.
No,
not at this point.
It's
Elliot,
He
he
rejected
withdrawn
his
his
appeal.
his appeal.
Yeah. Wow.
He's accepted it.
There goes week 15 for me.
Yep.
Anyway, so
Fantasy.
so anyway, we were talking about Goodell. Let's talk about Kaepernick. As far we've talked about the knee, we've talked about all that. He's a GQ Man of the Year.
Citizen of the year.
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
Well, look what he did.
I mean, he's literally not only has he, and I know a lot of people would talk about J.J. Watt raising the $32 million for the hurricanes and things of that nature, and you know what, J.J. Watt, if they would have picked J.J. Watt, I'd have completely understood it.
Right.
But in the same aspect, Kaepernick hasn't given up money. He literally walked away from money for what he believes in. Okay. On top of that, he sent $1 million worth of stuff to
Yeah.
some other place. He spent $900,000 on he's done his
He's done a
effort.
lot of charity work.
He's done a lot, and a lot of that's not
to back
being
up his talk.
and a lot of it's not being seen because people don't want to hear what he has to say.
He's like taboo right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't disagree with the move. I think the move itself is just it could have went to him. There's quite a few people.
You know why I think it's a great move? Why it's great that he was named
it's
that.
setting a statement, but
And not JJ Watt is because hurricanes happen all the time. This is a once, not a once in a
I get
lifetime
that. I
thing.
completely agree with that.
But I think it's one of those times in history that everybody's gonna remember. It's gonna go down in the books, and it's very, very crucial that what he brought to the light nowadays.
And I want to give credit to GQ
So.
because not a lot of people
would have done that, stuck their neck out for him.
Hell no, because you know
Well,
what?
why-
They
why-
they
why
lost
are-
some credibility with the United States right there.
Why aren't any law enforcement agencies stepping up and saying we're having better racial profiling, racist type tests as far
I don't
as
think a lot of people want to get involved in it in
No.
the limelight.
And I want to
aspect.
point
I
out.
wanna touch
I
it,
want
but
to
the
point
truth-
out.
but the
Did
truth
anybody see the Army football team? Every single player took a knee.
No,
Army.
I didn't see that.
Okay, so
that
and-
says a lot.
So if you're sitting there saying that, it's disrespectful to the flag that he, took the knee or he started this, for the the Army football team to sit there and take the knee in
Yeah.
support of this is saying something. I mean, I know a lot of people want to be blindfolded by what's going on and they don't want to see this and they want to see it
Right.
as something that, players aren't wanting it to be. For the Army to sit there and take a knee, it says something to me. It should say something to you. I know it may not say something to all of you, but it should. Start looking into the idea that there are people with different views and different beliefs and start actually opening up to what's actually going on
It's not
around.
even so much of the different beliefs.
I
It's
mean,
just
but it
have
is
an
with
open, have an open mind of others' beliefs.
different beliefs. So
Have,
it's
have
exactly
an, have an
different
open
beliefs.
mind. Have an open mind.
Yeah, and
So.
some people aren't going to be that way. And
No,
It is
no,
what it
you,
is.
You're gonna have your hardcore military. You're gonna have your hardcore people who
who support the
in
military,
NFL,
and
support
that's,
the military.
that's what
But
they
the
want to
thing,
do.
the bottom line is, it has nothing to do. His knee had nothing to do with disrespect.
No,
of the
and he
military.
said it from the start.
And you had Nate Boyer even come in.
That's what I was just about to get to. When Kaepernick first started this, he actually sat down. Okay, he just sat for the national anthem, and it didn't go over well at all. People were upset. Nate Boyer
Mhm.
actually contacted Kaepernick, and they had a conversation.
With Eric Reed.
Now, just so you know, Nate Boyer is a veteran. Okay, he had the conversation with Kaepernick, and Kaepernick said, "What could I have done to make this go over better?"
And Boyer played in the NFL for
Yeah,
Seahawks.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. But the more relevant story of this is he's a veteran. Okay. So with that being said,
But he got both sides of it.
yeah. I just want to point out the fact that he is a veteran. Now, the veteran came off and told Kaepernick, instead of sitting down, you could literally take a knee like we would do for our fallen soldiers. Take your knee and still salute. You'll see pictures of Kaepernick on his knee with his hand over his heart.
Mhm.
He wasn't doing this out of disrespect for the flag.
Right.
And a lot of people won't see past that because of what it's turned into. And sadly, with a lot of these players, they're doing it not for the same reasons that Kaepernick did it. They're doing it because they had this thing out for President Trump. Okay, President Trump came down on the NFL. And there's another statement I want to say about the President Trump thing, not to get too political. We are a sports show. when this started taking place, like the elections and stuff, I was never a President Trump supporter. Okay, I never thought that he was necessarily qualified for the job. There's many things, but with that being said, he is the president. So whether you're a Trump supporter or not, he is the president right now. You need to be a Trump supporter. Okay, if he's not doing well, none of us are. So support what the man is doing, and that's just my opinion. I'm gonna move on to a little less of a touchier subject. Brock, take us to something else.
I just want to say real quick about Kaepernick and taking a knee.
Okay, go ahead.
And what Nate Boyer said to him was about prayer, you take a knee. Fallen soldiers, take a knee.
There's a lot of that.
When you propose to your wife, something special, you take a knee. Right.
Romantic.
I'm just saying.
I'll make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you tight.
Baby, all through. Why you leave me alone?
I can't hit that note, baby. Alright. So anyway, we're gonna move on to the next part of this. We're talking about Mike and Mike. Mike and Mike has been there since the time I was 18, 17 years old to now. Mike and Mike, you got the nerdy, the non-athletic Greenie. No offense, Greenie, you do have good hair. And we know you've never dyed it. Against our hometown boy, Mike Golick. Where's he from?
Willowick.
You live
In Willowick.
In Willowick.
At a time.
At one point, and they came together for 18 years, and they started pretty much sports radio, and they've elevated it to shows. Everybody's copying off them.
We wouldn't get there.
Today they had their last episode as Mike and Mike, and I feel
Which
like
one of you cried?
I cried. No.
I knew
Anyway,
somebody.
I was pretty choking up.
Ah, jeez.
I was.
I grew up, like, from the time, I just remember going to job interviews as, becoming a new father, everything. I knew that when I woke up in the morning, Mike and Mike was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew on my way to work, like, I might be nervous about something. I might be thinking, like, what am I going to do today? But what would stabilize me would be Mike and Mike. And now, no longer they're there.
Yeah.
So, did Mike and Mike affect you guys like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And when I was in the construction industry, I was constantly up, 6 in the morning, on my way to work. And I knew that Mike and Mike was going to be on in the morning. So that was my go-to thing on the radio. I didn't listen to music on my way to work to hype me up or anything like that. I listened to Mike and Mike, and I enjoyed every second of it. And I hated it when it was off. When I had to go to work, I had to walk out on the middle of a subject because I loved watching them guys and hearing those guys. And just the differences between those two and the interactions. I mean, I love Mike and Mike in the morning. I love the show. I love Greenie. I love Golick. I love the aspect of how they came together, and they probably didn't think that it was going to last that long. But it did. Opposites attract, and look what you guys did. And I just want to say thank you, for the last 18 years of my life personally, that you affected me, and I appreciate every second of it.
Yeah. I don't really have much more to touch up on it other than what these two just said. I can tell you a little bit of, I did listen to them every day. At work, actually, is when I listen to them. And I work with a lot of people who don't share the same passion for sports as I do. So I can really...
They were that friend there for you.
Not so much just that, but I have a little radio. And mind you, I work in government housing. I have other people working around me, and I had them on my radio every day. Okay, and whether they liked it, the people who got into sports or not, they were listening to them. So Mike and Mike, I just want you to know, even if they didn't like it, they were listening to you. I loved it. We all loved it. You definitely paid tribute to what we're trying to be. And once again, I will say thank you.
Thank you, Mike and Mike. The next subject we gotta talk about, we gotta throw it in here real fast. You see our boy De La Hoya?
Woo!
And who? And there's only one Conor McGregor, and there's no fighter better, and he's gonna beat Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Oscar De La Hoya came. How old is he now?
44.
44!
44.
44!
Yeah.
Anyway, he comes up.
But he's been secretly training.
Yes, he is.
Secretly.
Secretly
Hush.
training, right.
Okay.
Stronger and faster than ever.
Stronger. Faster. He's like Antonio Mendez. I'm stronger, faster, Anyway, he says he can beat
Give him
Conor
2
McGregor.
rounds.
I think
2 rounds.
I think he can.
Go ahead, you touch it first, and I'll.
I would love to say that he can in 2 rounds. I'm not denying the fact that I think De La Hoya could beat McGregor in the ring, only because I watched the Mayweather McGregor fight.
Mhm.
McGregor is not a boxer at this point. I don't know how many times I've seen this.
Right,
Like, you know,
right, the rabbit
it
punches.
got to where it was like almost like, come on, you're gonna mess. I was pulling for McGregor. I
Yeah.
really was, and not
No, we
because
watched it
not
together.
because
We
I'm
watched
not a
it together.
Mayweather. Yes, we did.
No.
And not because I'm not a Mayweather fan. It was just I knew McGregor was an underdog going in. I root for the underdog. I was really hoping that he could pull out some kind of crazy knockout. It didn't happen. So with that being said, De La Hoya is one of the greatest of all time. Period. Nobody can deny that.
Right.
And it fits almost the same storyline as Mayweather. I mean, it's not quite the same, but it fits almost the same storyline. You know, with him.
Why would he say no? After that payday he got with
gonna say
Mayweather,
no. He's not gonna say no.
I think Mayweather showed McGregor mercy. I think Mayweather said, check this out, we can both get paid. Just like he did with Pacquiao. Nobody is seeing this. He is running to the bank with all this money, and nobody's seeing it. Are we stupid?
I don't know. I mean, McGregor and Mayweather both admitted to changing up game plans because McGregor in the first couple rounds was tagging Mayweather. He was tagging.
De La Hoya.
Mayweather also
hold on, we're
is
getting-
known
we're
to
getting-
fill somebody out.
De La Hoya. Let's get on De La Hoya. We already seen the Mayweather. We already seen the Mayweather McGregor. De La Hoya is 44 years old, secretly training, whatever. The guy's coming off past addiction, you know, being an alcoholic and, you know, drug abuse and everything else. He may be secretly training. He
I'll
may
run this back here in a second. We'll
he
come
may
back to
think
it.
he is it over?
It's not over. No.
We're not over. We'll come back to you right after this.